In his book, Foundations of Geopolitics, Dugan pushed the idea that the U.S. must be counteracted on the global stage. And the book became a standard assigned reading in the 21st century at the General Staff Academy for Russian military leaders. So all of the military leaders have been raised on Dugan. He went on to become a Putin advisor without portfolio, with Putin echoing, sometimes in a matter of hours, according to experts, expressions Dugan was using in his media broadcasts. Dugan believes that America is the Antichrist, leading the world. And by the way,
listen to what he says. Listen to what Glen Beck says now, right?
I'm beginning to think that that might be true too. That we might be the great Babylon. That we might be what our scriptures foretell.
You hear what he said? We know that. You should know that. It's beautiful when I see these commentators that have got a strong following when they're starting to acknowledge what's going on. He said that we might be Babylon the Great, that we might be that Babylon that's in the scriptures, that's destined for destruction. This is what he said. Now, we know that categorically, that America is Babylon the Great. Revelation 17. We know she's that great whore. Revelation 17:1, the doom of Babylon. And there came up one of the seven angels, which had the seven vials, that talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters, with whom the kings of the earth, all of the nations around the world, have committed fornication. They've gone into bed, business with America, financially, and also based on her societal systems, her two-party political systems, her image, her philosophies, her ways of life. They've completely signed up for the American way of life in their own countries. They've gone to bed. They've committed fornication with America. And the inhabitants of the earth have been drunk with the wine of her fornication, her love for the LGBTQ, transgender, bigender, this gender, that gender, her Republican, Democratic, two-party, plebeian, patrician, Roman system. They've drunken of her wine, of her ways, her political ways, her financial institutions, right? Her debauchery, her love for pornography, seeing pedophilia as nothing major again. They've drunken the wine of America's fornication in all of her ways and her philosophies and her belief. Women are dressing half naked. Adultery is rife. A woman can have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 husbands. No one blinks an eye no more. They're walking around half naked down the street. Women, all of these things, it's immorality, it's debauchery. Everything about America, right? The nations have drunken the wine, the philosophies, the images of America's fornication. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast full of names and blasphemies, having 7 heads and 10 horns. The European Union, the 7 heads represent the 7 European empires, all right? And the woman, Asia Minor, the Romans, the Greeks, Asia Major, the Romans, the Greeks, the Spanish, the French, the British, the 7 empires, right? And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of the abominations and the filthiness of her fornication. That's America. And Glen Beck can see it now, truly. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and the abominations of the earth. That's exactly what America is. It's the abominations of the earth. So he can see it now. He sees it clearly now, right?
Maybe that's why America...
Let me just go back a bit. See what he says again.
And by the way, I'm beginning to think that that might be true too. That we might be the great Babylon. That we might be what our scriptures foretell. Maybe that's why America's not in the end time revelation, because
it is in the end time revelations, because that's why you're saying it. If America is Babylon the Great, you're in end times revelations, like I just read. That's who it is. They're starting to see it now.
Maybe we're the problem. We're giving birth to it. It seems like we might be on that road.
You gave birth to it in 1776 when you became known as the United States of America. You are Babylon the Great, just like you said, but you gave birth to it in 1776. You're not giving birth to it now because you're coming to your end. Listen up.
I pray for destruction of our whole system if we become that evil. Please, dear Lord.
Did you hear what he said? Did you hear what he said? He said he prays for destruction if we become that Babylon the Great that's in the Bible, which we know that's who America is. He said we pray for destruction. Listen to what he says. I don't know if you heard what he says.
System, if we become that.
Hold on, just bring it back a little bit more. Listen to what he says carefully, right?
Because maybe we're the problem. We're giving birth to it. It seems like we might be on that road. I pray for destruction of our whole system if we become that evil. Please, dear Lord.
He said he prays for destruction if we become that great evil system, which is Babylon the Great, which is what I just read out. So he says he prays for destruction. Well, let me just read this out, because he doesn't need to pray for it because it's coming, right? But that's the spirit. For him to say, if we are Babylon the Great, Glen Beck said, if we, America is Babylon the Great, which we know they are, he says he prays for destruction. And he prays that it comes quickly, dear Lord, he said. That's the spirit. This is why we believe that he's a Jake. Because he ain't saying, we can get around this. He goes, he wants it to come to an end. And we know it's going to be destroyed. But just quickly read it out here. Revelations 18:9. And the kings of the earth who committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning. America, Babylon the Great, standing afar off for fear of her torment, saying, alas, alas, that great city, Babylon, which is America, that mighty city, for what? For in 1 hour is thy judgment come. In 1 hour is her judgment come. Let's just quickly go back to what he said. It's beautiful. When I hear that, boy.
Be true too, that we might be the great Babylon, that we might be what our scriptures foretell. Maybe that's why America's not in the end time revelation, because maybe we're the problem. We're giving birth to it. It seems like we might be on that road. I pray for destruction of our whole system if we become that evil. Please, dear Lord. Okay.